Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Computer America Show. It's Monday.
2 minutes until showtime.
Hopefully, all of you had a good week, and we'll be doing a very interesting show. In the second hour, we're going to be joining a company called Mindfields Consulting in Australia. They're a vendor-agnostic sourcing and management advisory firm. We're going to have the company's managing director, Mohit Sharma, is going to be on talking about how that affects you, a consumer, with computers. Interesting. I'm sure it'll be an interesting interview. And in the first hour, Kensington. That should definitely ring a bell for all of you out there. Kensington been around for a long time. Innovator in laptop security, trackballs, products that work with the iPad, iPhones. You know, they've been around for a long time. Most of you might be familiar with the Kensington built-in security slot. We have Corey Church as Kensington's channel marketing manager. Will be joining us in the first hour. And if we have time, we'll slip in some computer and technology news.
1 minute until showtime.
Brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. So sit back, relax, enjoy 2 hours of the Computer America Show coming right at you here. Stay with us. Okay. Thirty seconds.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And hopefully all of you had a wonderful weekend. Are relaxed and all fired up for another thrilling week as we bring to you the continuing adventures of the Computer America Show. Did you have a nice weekend, Ben?
Yeah, other than all the stuff that's been going over in Paris, that's been, just all over the news, and so much, information coming out from there. And that was, so horrible to hear, but, and that really put a damper on the weekend as a whole. But, personally here, stayed home, did nothing, ate a lot, the usual thing.
Yeah. Well, I was very pleased at the French response. I understand they just sent the Air Force over there and bombed the heck out of them as a retaliation. So,
well, yeah, and honestly, this is this is how I feel, that there should be an outpouring of humanity, not revenge. And revenge, don't get me wrong, feels very great in the short term. Yeah. And hopefully they did get some high value targets, because when people want to hurt other people, you need to hurt those people.
Well,
but
when ISIS took responsibility for it, then they sent the jets over and bombed the hell out of them. So, and I say good response.
Too bad this is an international policy, America, because we could really get into this.
Yes,
but otherwise, our heart and sympathies go out to, of course, everyone out in Paris who was hurt, and we'll be sure to keep up to date on that.
Yes, we will. All right. Well, so we have a great show planned for you, and in the second hour, we're going to have a company called Mindfields. That was appropriate. Mindfields Consulting. Yes, exactly. They are a vendor-agnostic sourcing and management advisory firm. We're going to have the company's managing director, Mohit Sharma, on talking about what it is that they do and how it affects you, the consumer. It should be an interesting hour. And in the first hour, we're going to have Kensington. Kensington is here talking about, well, Kensington has been around for a long time. If you've been in computing for a while, you'll certainly know the name of Kensington. Corey Church is going to be joining us. He is the channel marketing manager. And we're going to be seeing what's happening over at Kensington. Now, if you have a comment or a question for any of our guests, we'd love to hear from you. Give us a call, 347-884-8881. That's 347-884-8881. We'll get you on and get you through. You can also go to any page at computeramerica.com. Any page, and on the upper right-hand corner of any page there, you'll see a submit a question. If you don't want to go in the air, click that. It'll take you to our question submission page where you can type in a question for a guest. Click the submit button. Ben and I will see it immediately, and we'll ask that question or make your comment on your behalf. All right. The other thing that you can do is you can watch the Computer America show on our live video stream. We recognize that we're a radio talk show, but at the same time, we offer live video streaming right here on computeramerica.com. Just go to any page, and you'll see in the pull-down menu bar, it'll say Show Lounge. Just click that, and the live video stream will instantly begin wherever we are momentarily at that show. If you're joining us live 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday, you'll get the live video stream, and you can watch the show. And when you do that, you can see myself, you can see Ben. Sometimes you can see our guests. You won't be able to do that today. Both our guests. Oh, no, excuse me. Our first hour guest is on the phone. The second one will be on our live video stream.
That he will.
Yeah, except he won't have a camera. He's just going to be audio. So, but the real value is that you can see Ben. Okay, and not only can you see Ben has that really great technology where he can display websites, movies, videos, so you can watch and see everything that we're
trying to hook you up with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see everything there on the live video stream. So, and of course, if you miss it, you can also watch any of it or listen to any of it if you click the archives button. Menu bar that's on every page at computeramerica.com, which is the internet home of our radio broadcast. It'll show you all the places you can listen to archives, including Apple's iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, SoundCloud, Stitcher. They all carry the audio archives. But if you're listening to us live, again, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, you can also catch us on the IRN radio network, on the TuneIn radio network. Lots of places to listen to us at computeramerica.com. It's all happening at computeramerica.com. That's the only thing you really need to know. And all the information you need about the broadcast is at our internet home, computeramerica.com. Okay. That said, anything else that you might want to mention before we get started?
No, I think you covered just about everything and things that have been said 1,000 times before. So I think we're good to go. Oh, wait, one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
We should start plugging this almost every single show. We hope to see a couple of you out there if you're able to make it, but be sure to at least watch us as we go out to CES this year.
Oh, yes.
Out attending CES 2016 in style, out at Showstoppers as well as the main event, and we'll be getting lots of guests for after the whole festivities have ended, but also interviews and again, we'll be live up at Showstoppers, interviewing guests that show, and that's going to be a very special show because we'll be live on the floor. So be sure to check us out. That is in early January. I want to say the 6th through the 9th.
That sounds about right. You're right.
Yeah.
I think you're about
So be sure to check that out. We need to start plugging that like every day.
Yeah, and I understand this is going to be your first experience out there. You are in for a real treat, Ben. You're going to really love it out there.
I know. It seems like everyone, so far, it's been everyone who's gone has said either, oh, it's great, it's lovely. There are lots of companies, lots of new products. It's very exciting. You're going to be surrounded by technology. It's going to be amazing. And then the other half say, I went and I'm never going to go again. So it was, it's either going to be great or awful. I'm never going to want to go again. But so far, for my first time, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, not only that, but you're also going to get the Vegas experience. You've never been to Las Vegas either, so it's really it's a 2-for-1.
I might try to do something out there because, spoiler, I will be out there during my birthday, and Vegas plus birthday is something you're not supposed to do or something, or you really are supposed to do, but no, it's mainly business. It's mainly for Computer America, so we'll try to keep it centered around that.
Well, that doesn't mean you can't have a good time, and I think you're going to have a great time at CES regardless, because you're a technology guy, and certainly it's the heart of technology, and it's the heart of technology that we're going to be. It's like a little window to the future, because things you're going to be seeing there are going to be appearing on dealer shelves, in a few months from that. So you're actually going to see what's in store for you. All right, so I think that's about that does it. So let's bring our guest on for the first hour. Now, as I mentioned, our first hour guest is from Kensington, and Kensington, if you did not know, is the inventor and worldwide leader in laptop security locks, the acknowledged leader of trackball innovations, and offers the broadest range of premium branded iPad, tablet, iPhone, and smartphone productivity solutions. Now, such is the extent of the trust afforded to their brand from their excellence in laptop security that their name, Kensington, has become synonymous with cabled computer locks and the Kensington's built-in security slot. We begin with the fact that Kensington is about to launch its annual holiday gift giving guide. So how did Kensington choose what will be included this year? Joining us is Kensington's channel marketing manager, Corey Church. Corey, welcome into Computer America. How are you?
Good. Thank you. How are you two?
We're both doing great, and thank you so much for being with us here today. And as I mentioned, I've known Kensington for so long. Really a venerable company. But why don't you just give our listeners a quick overview of the little history behind Kensington, how long you've been around, and the company's been around. Can you do that for me?
Sure, absolutely. As you mentioned, we've been around quite a long time. This is actually our 34th year.
Wow.
We were founded in 1981. So, especially here in Silicon Valley with the constant changeover of startups, it's definitely something we're very proud of. And, as you mentioned, we're very focused on security. That's been our core principle. We invented laptop security. Most people out there with a laptop, if you just look there, you'll see that little slot there. That's the Kensington or the K slot for laptop security. So we've always been really focused on creating products and experiences that, really speak to our core principles, which hasn't changed. It's always been about making smart, safe, and simple products, and making sure that is incorporated across the entire plethora of our products. We've since been around so long, we've got over 200 patents. Right now we have a portfolio of over 400 different products. So it's really an exciting time with Kensington, with just how much we have and the legacy that we show up there.
Yeah. Now, is that your elevator pitch for Kensington, or is there more things?
I could probably go on for hours with how long we've been around, how much we have, but our core principle is really just making sure that we bring that design of smart, safe, and simple across everything that we have. And with that many products, there's certainly a lot to talk about.
Okay, exactly. And as I mentioned in my introduction, the holidays are pretty much around the corner, and I understand that Kensington is about to launch its annual holiday gift giving guide. So why don't you sort of, as an introduction, kind of how did Kensington choose what would be included this year in your gift giving guide?
As we're primarily a B2B focused company, we certainly do make consumer products, and that's where this gift guide sort of came about from. Is we're very focused on that sort of business type traveler, and so we make these consumer products with that in mind, and that's how we chose these products this year, is really focusing on what that mobile sort of professional is looking for, whether they're traveling home for the holidays or they're out there in this sort of crunch time in the end of year, and really looked at what they can use and what we can provide to make their sort of travel experience much more productive, and shows a very specific set of products that sort of meet that need.
Okay. And how many products are you going to have in your holiday gift guide? About how many are going to be in there, you think?
Right now we have 8 different products that we're focusing on for this gift guide this year.
Got it. Okay. So why don't we focus on what those products are going to be and go into some detail? Because again, Ben, if you're watching the live video stream, Ben is at the Kensington website, and you can see there's an upgrade to 4K kit, which looks really interesting. Is that upgrade to 4K going to be on the holiday gift guide? Just out of curiosity, or is that a different, a separate product?
No, that's separate. For the gift guide, we really focused on sort of that mobile travel experience.
Okay.
The 4K is very interesting, but that's definitely much more of a desktop workstation type product.
Can we talk a little bit about that before we get started on the gift guide? I mean, that looks very intriguing. I mean,
Absolutely.
4K is so much in the news these days, and this is some sort of a video adapter, and I find this to be extremely interesting. Tell us a little bit about this video adapter and what's on each. It's a short wire. It looks like it's about a 4-inch wire with a plug on each.
Short cable.
Short cable, yeah, short cable. It looks like it's you're calling it a display port to HDMI. It's the VP4000 4K video adapter. Can you tell us a little bit about this?
Sure. So it's part of a whole category of products that we just recently released, introducing ourselves to the 4K lineup. Mm-hmm. What it does is we've recognized, and through our market research and talking to our customer base, that 4K is definitely a trend that we want to be a part of. Typically, when you hear about 4K, people think about gaming and that type of high-end graphics. But on the B2B or the more professional side, 4K is really about productivity. With people going out and doing installations of 4K monitors, it allows you to have much more screen real estate, so you can be much more productive with many more windows open. It's kind of replacing what people now have a lot of 2-3 monitors at their desktop. This can replace that. Mm-hmm. And so we provided some products to help really enhance that experience. Most people's laptops today may not be 4K compatible. So we've created some devices that actually allow you to upgrade to 4K without having to change your internal graphics card or do anything technical like that. It allows you to just plug in this adapter and then actually project a 4K resolution out of your laptop via USB. And then we also we have that in a couple of different versions. We also have adapters to take you from your standard output, so whether it's a display port to take you to HDMI, that's 4K compatible. So it's a whole category of product that we've created to really enhance that productivity and take advantage of that 4K monitors.
Yeah, it looks like you've added 2 new cables to this video adapter lineup, which is I mentioned the VP4000 4K video adapter display port to HDMI. So it looks like you have on one end a little black plug. It looks like, I assume that's the HDMI female adapter into which you would plug your 4K monitor, which has HDMI already on it. And then where do you go from there? So basically it goes into that, and then it goes into your on your computer, in the back of your computer, the display port, which has the bandwidth to handle a 4K display. But you're more than just matching up the displays, because obviously if you take the 4K monitor and plug it into an HDMI port that you may have already in your computer, how is this different? Or is this for computers that don't have an HDMI port? Which is it for?
So it's a little bit of both. It's for the specific one that you're talking about, that is actually going to be changing the interface, right? So from that mini display port to HDMI, or from a full display port to HDMI, mm-hmm. and then they are completely 4K compatible. So those are the 2 sort of wire dongles that you see there. Mm-hmm. In addition to that, in that same category is actually the USB adapters, which take USB 3.0, either to DisplayPort or to HDMI. So you could plug it directly into your laptop into a USB 3.0 port and then output 4K to either a DisplayPort cable or to an HDMI cable to your 4K monitor if your laptop is not currently 4K ready.
Okay, so you're doing.
So we're covering that whole family of products. So whether your laptop is currently 4K available, these adapters here can then take it from that mini display port or display port to mm-hmm. HDMI, mm-hmm. Or if your laptop is currently not 4K compatible, we give you the product that will allow you to upgrade and convert from USB to 4K ready.
Okay, so I understand. So So, but do all, let's just say I have a laptop that's not 4K ready and I have a 4K monitor. Will all four of these devices upgrade me to the 4K, give the non 4K laptop the ability to display 4K, or is it the dongles only, or is it the $99 two adapters that stand alone, or do all four do that?
It would be the two adapters that would allow you to upgrade to 4K functionality.
Okay, so that's a great thing. So you don't have to upgrade you have a laptop, it's an older laptop, and you have a 4K monitor. You go, oh, I can't use it. Well, guess what? Kensington provides the adapters for you to do that, and which I think breathes new life into your computer. Certainly available to do that, and again from Kensington. All right, so let's talk about some of the each of the products that you're going to be in the holiday gift guide, and maybe you can share with our listener this year's list and tell us a little bit about each product. Okay.
Sure. So the first item that we have is the what we call our 48-watt 4-port charger. That's our model number. If anyone wants to look it up, it's K38212. What this is a desktop charger that you plug into the wall. It's let's say roughly the size of a Apple TV, if people are familiar with that type of format. It provides 4 full power USB ports on the top for charging. So what that does is it actually provides 2.4 amps to each. For comparison's sake, that allows you to completely fully charge with full power delivery for iPads or for tablets at one time. The great thing is, most people have many devices at home. They have many, whether it's multiple cell phones or tablets or just any devices that charge via USB. They all come with their own power brick. This kind of simplifies that, allows you to just plug 4 different devices at once in and deliver full power. And I think that's the differentiator that we like to talk about with Kensington, is that a lot of the bricks that you see out there with multiple ports, they could charge simultaneously, but they can't deliver that full 2.4 amps of power to every single port at the same time. It usually trickles down to 1 amp if you have, say, more than 2 devices plugged in. So this is just a great piece with everyone having devices that charge over USB. Allows you to simplify that. It allows you to charge them all at one time. It's a really great product.
Is that what you call the Pocket Hub 4-port USB adapter? Is that it?
No, this is the 48-watt 4-port charger.
And it's called the K3. What was it called again?
Oh.
It's K38212.
Ah, okay.
Right. Yeah. So about this thing, if you go to the website, you can see very clearly, what it looks like. But the other end, it's a cord that goes off into the mystery. So on the other end of that mystery is that does that go into a wall outlet, or is that another USB that goes into your?
Yeah, that's just
all right.
Yeah, the standard wall outlet just plugs right into any standard power outlet, and then provides that 4-port USB charging.
It looks about the size of the Apple TV. I mean, the shape and size of an Apple TV. It's black,
very compact,
very very similar.
Exactly. But this is a $80, $79.99, and it's in stock and ready to go. And this is really will deal with your power.
Definitely something for travelers, because I know I've seen some people at the airport, they take up 2 outlets all by themselves, charging their tablet, their phone, and their laptop and everything all together at once. So something like this, it's definitely small enough that you can definitely throw it into a travel bag and forget about it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that's the first item. What else are you including?
Sort of continuing on that sort of power trend, we have 2 products that allow you to really keep charge on the go. Those are our mobile chargers. We have it in 2 different versions. The first is a 10,400 milliamp. That one is K38219. And then we also have it in a 5200, and that's K38220. Both of those are basically mobile power banks to allow you to charge on the go. Think of it as a backup battery to charge your mobile devices. So obviously the 10,400 milliamp is more for, say, charging a tablet type device, or if you want multiple charges on a cell phone. And the 5200 is much more of a smaller, lighter version, half the capacity, half the size, that allows you to then charge out. Both of these offer that 2.1 amp charging, so you do get that fast charge. You do get full power charging to a device that can accept that high of a rating. So this is great just on the go. Many places, if you don't have access to a wallet or to a charger and you're worried about your phone or your tablet dying, this is small enough to keep in a bag or a purse and pull out and allow yourself to just get yourself power and recharge there on the go.
Okay, and it comes in two versions. You mentioned the 10,400 is the U.S. Mobile. By the way, I'm going out right here on your website, but everything is in Spanish. I'm not sure why that is. I don't know if you're having the same result, Ben, if you're showing it.
No, see, I'm smart enough to choose American because American English.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm seeing Spanish about this product, and it's all the displays are in there. So I must have something loaded incorrectly. So again, the two mobile chargers, and again the 10,400 is like $50, $49.99, and the other one is what is that going for? That goes for how much is that, Corey? $39. Okay,
it's $39.99.
Yeah, so $10 more. Yeah, you get the larger. I mean, any particular reason why you would choose the lower powered one for $10? I would think it would make sense to get the more powerful one. Any particular reason?
Some people like the size of it, how compact it is, because it is about half the size of the 10,400, and it's also lighter. So if you're looking for something a little bit more portable, you may go with that one.
Okay, all right. We have time to go probably another couple items and again, Corey Church, channel marketing manager, is talking about the upcoming holiday gift guide, and we're talking about some of the items that are going to be displayed in there from Kensington. What else do we have?
One of our other key items is the black belt first degree rugged case for Microsoft Surface Pro 3. That model number is K97416. And it goes for about $39 out there. So what this does is this is a complete rugged protection case for your Surface Pro 3. A lot of people, on the go are worried about it, especially with the price of that device. This allows full, military grade drop protection.
Wow.
Some other unique things that we built into it is, people about their Surface, they really love the kickstand. They love their Microsoft Surface keyboard that attaches to it. And sometimes with some devices out there for rugged protection, it kind of hinders one or the other. So we actually worked with Microsoft. We're a certified partner of theirs, and helping to develop and get this product certified by them. And we've designed this to not hinder either one of those. So you still have complete access to the kickstand, doesn't change or hold back the degree in which that can move. You still plug in your keyboard and connect that to keep and while keeping that rugged protection. So it's a really unique device. Allows you, with a sort of a non-slip grip, to keep that in your hands while you're moving. Complete drop protection, and still doesn't hinder or change the performance of the Surface Pro 3 in any way. So it's a really interesting product. Everyone we show it to just absolutely loves it.
Yeah, again, it's for the Surface Pro 3, which is the top of the line
Surface.
Yeah, that's good. That's available from Microsoft. You show a picture of a gentleman dropping at what kind of? I know it meets this military grade military standard 810G. They always have about. Can you describe the specification? I mean, how far can you drop it? I mean, how well does it protect given those specifications, Corey?
To pass that specification, I believe it has to fully survive a 4-foot drop, which is your sort of standard height of someone walking with in their hand. Mm-hmm. Even if and then the nice thing too is it's complete 4-corner protection. It also has that raised bezel across the top. So if it does say fall flat on its face, it's the screen is completely protected. And also the nice thing too is since we've designed this to work with the Surface keyboard, as that folds back around, it fits completely flush with the case, so that just adds that much more protection as well to the screen.
And how much added, bulk would the case add to the Surface Pro? It doesn't look like very much. It looks like it's very good. No,
it's very minimal. It's just a very small bezel that we kind of raise up off the glass on the top. And the back, again, same thing, just to sort of have a thin layer across the back. It's really on that corner protection where we beef that up, and it adds a little bit more in the dimensions. but still keeps the same lines and the same look and feel of the Surface.
Now, for those who have the Surface Pro 3, you also know that it includes a stylus. And do you accompany that stylus in this case?
We do. That's one of the things that people love about this is with the stylus holder that comes with Microsoft, it's sort of a peel and stick version. We integrated a stylus loop into this case, so that way it's built in, and you don't worry about losing it or if it falling off of its magnetic connection. So that's just one more feature that we added to this.
And so you basically with this case you have designed it so it offers an obstructed access to like the kickstand, the type cover, ports, jacks, cameras, that type of thing?
Yes, it's complete access to every single port, to the camera cutouts in the back, the kickstand itself, putting the keyboard into it as well. So we didn't limit the Surface in any way. Using the Surface with or without it, your functionality of having access to everything or changing the angle of the kickstand or access any type of vent or anything like that has not been hindered in any way whatsoever.
Okay. Now, is this catalog online yet that we could see all these products? I know we have more to talk about. Is there anywhere on the Kensington website, or is this that's something that's coming up?
I believe it's something that's coming up. All the products we talked about today, though, are shipping. They are available, and they are visible via Kensington.com. Mm-hmm. And then, yes, we will be having a section kind of talking about and showing off this gift guide.
Right. In the meantime, you can see all this right now. If you're watching the live video stream, Ben is actually showing the Kensington website and displaying. Right now, we're looking at the black belt first degree rugged case for the Surface Pro 3. Again, $40, $39.99.
For those of you who are clumsy enough to drop your mobile devices, I don't know who would do that, but there has to be a few of you out there.
Yeah, that's right. We can't imagine who would drop a mobile device. We have no idea who you are, but you're out there, we're sure. And a little inside humor, Corey. Anyway, Ben and I are talking to Corey Church, who is the channel marketing manager for Kensington. We're at the bottom of the hour, Corey. We're going to take a little break, and then we'll come back and talk about more of the devices that Kensington is offering for the holidays. You're listening to the Computer America program. Ben and I, we have a brand new news test bulletin review from Marty Winston. That's all coming up. Stay tuned for more Computer America with Kensington. Stay with us.
Sometimes disaster strikes. Data can be lost due to many different reasons. Accidental reformatting, power spikes, virus attacks. Zero Assumption Recovery provides a suite of highly effective and thorough data recovery software for Windows operating systems. ZA is suitable for home users and small businesses who need a powerful data recovery solution for Windows and Linux file systems.
Go to z-a-recovery.com.
Sometimes disaster strikes. Data can be lost due to many different reasons. Accidental reformatting, power spikes, virus attacks. Zero Assumption Recovery provides a suite of highly effective and thorough data recovery software for Windows operating systems. ZA is suitable for home users and small businesses who need a powerful data recovery solution for Windows and Linux file systems.
Go to z-a-recovery.com.
Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? Not so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they are available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com.
My Christmas wish list, yeah, it's with Rocky Patel. Marty Winston with the News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time, the D-Link ultra-wide HD camera. The most remarkable thing about the new D-Link DCS 2630L cloud camera is that its optics can shoot everything in front of it, a 180-degree field of view, without the video looking fisheye. It doesn't offer tilt and pan control, but that wide view means you'll probably never need it. And its mount offers a lot of flexibility in where you point it. There's a big parade of specs: dual band 802.11ac Wi-Fi, IR-assisted night vision, full 1080p HD video in both H.264 and MJPEG, two-way audio, two passive infrared motion sensors, and a micro SD slot for local recording when triggered. Bottom line, if you need a detailed video eye on everything, and you trust the cloud, the new D-Link ultra-wide HD and Wi-Fi cloud camera is a proficient performer. Marty Winston, News Tips Bulletin for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. It's 33 minutes past the hour, and that was a very nice one. I appreciate how he voiced that, and it sounds like a very, very cool camera. So, that was Marty Winston with a News Tip Bulletin Review. And right now we are talking with Kensington. We're talking to Mr. Corey Church, who is the channel marketing manager, and we're talking all about different gifts that Kensington is really promoting to for travelers out there for this holiday season. And it sounds like a lot of these are in many different price ranges, and so far all of them very useful. And we just covered the Black Belt First Degree rugged case for the Surface Pro 3. So if you have one of those, and by the way, Corey, don't want to leave you out of the in joke, is that for anyone who is a wild listener to the show, they know that my mobile devices, specifically my phone, has been thrown across the room, run over, cracked, broken, rained on, insert catastrophe here, and it has happened. So I know a lot of people look at these cases and they say, military grade, why the heck are these things so strong? No one's going to put it through those, that kind of stuff. But, for some people, military grade sounds just dandy.
I like that. My favorite was when Ben was looking for his phone, and he thought it was in the bed, and he just took the covers and flung them back because he thought it was, and watched his phone sailing through the air. So it can happen, folks. We laugh and kid about it, but if you have something that's rugged,
it happens to the dumbest of us.
So, anyhow, we are discussing Kensington's upcoming annual holiday gift giving guide. Now, is it mostly focused on mobile devices? This year, Corey?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
That's one of the things that we try to focus on this year is, with just the holiday times, everyone's doing a lot of traveling, either coming home or going out and visiting. So we try to make it devices and focus on devices that would really aid in that.
Right. So I want to continue on. I just wanted to ask one thing. I don't know how long first of all, how long have you been with Kensington?
Actually, in a couple of weeks, it'll be 4 years.
All right. I'm just kind of curious. Yeah, congratulations. I'm kind of curious what Kensington had to go through to get that specification, for the locks, because you see it on every device now from all different companies, that little slot that's built into these things. They had to go through quite a through to make that a standard. Is that what they did?
Yeah, we have a dedicated security and OEM development team that works very closely with our partners, such as Dell, Lenovo, and likes of those types, where we're constantly working hand in hand to improve upon our slot performance. From the development all the way up to compatibility, and testing, especially just the amount of testing that we do here. We have a dedicated lab here in our building. And that goes through and tests every single slot, every single lock multiple times. So it's definitely a lot of work to create a standard, but also to maintain it.
Exactly, and that goes across platform too. I think on the Apple line too, you'll find that little slot that's there to secure.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're also doing a lot of education on it. It's just not just say a laptop, desktop, but there's many more devices within that same sort of realm. Most monitors have it, most projectors. If you're in a conference room, the phones in it have it. Things like Xbox has it.
Wow.
So it's while we started off with laptop security, that case slot specification has made its way into many devices. Even some, say, gun cabinets have it built in. So we're doing a lot of education on that out there. It's not just about locking on your laptop, but that device specification has been really has exploded over the last 15 years, and has made its way into a number of different categories.
And we're showing it up on the website right now, and it actually has a lock. It looks like it's a numerical lock. In other words, with the little rotating numbers, so it's a combination lock.
Yes, we have many different flavors of locking technology. So whether it's keyed or combination, in addition to just the numbers, we also have one we call word lock, which a lot of customers in the consumer space find very effective, much easier to remember, a 4-letter phrase that you may want versus, a specific number out there.
Yeah. And
oh, you guys make these locks. I never put one and one together because I used to go to a computer lab in college, and of course you got to chain the monitors to the desk so that the kids don't walk off with a monitor. But like the IT guy always put them on backwards, so there was always a wire hanging right down the middle of your screen. But let me tell you, not a single monitor went missing.
There you go. There's a testimonial right there. I mean, they're very effective. They do the job, and you can see the wide range of them. I do like the one with the words, because you can come up with a creative word that you can make, 4-letter word that protects it. Obviously, you don't want to pick an obvious one. So,
although the way that technology has been going lately, I'm surprised you don't have a fingerprint reader on these things yet.
Oh, yeah. Well, go ahead.
No, it's certainly something we're looking into. We do make a number of other security type devices, such as our charge and sync cabinets that say hold multiple devices at one time. They're great for, say, a school or a business deployment where they're having multiple, think like 10, 15 different, Chromebooks or laptops deployed. These are cabinets that we build that has our locking technology that also charges them at night, and fingerprints and RFID and other things that we're definitely exploring that in those types of spaces.
Good. Excellent.
Very cool.
Very cool. All right, well, let's continue on with the this year's list of products that are going to be in the holiday gift giving guide. We've talked about some of the chargers. We just finished talking about the case, the black belt first degree rugged case for Surface Pro 3, black for $40, $39.99. What else do we have?
One of the other devices that we really focus on is our trackball family, and what's perfect for on the go is our Orbit wireless mobile trackball. So I think, as you mentioned in the beginning of the show, is that we are one of the pioneers of trackballs, leading that industry. It goes back many years when we first launched the turbo mouse back for I think it's the Apple IIe.
Yeah.
So trackballs is something that's very near and dear to us, and being mobile with a trackball is something that we really revolutionized with this Orbit wireless trackball. So that model number is K72352. The MSRP of it is about $59.99, and this is a wireless trackball that you could use on the go. The great thing about trackballs is that you stay stationary in your movement. So something on a plane where you're sitting there in a cramped space, you don't have a room to really pull out a mouse and move it all around. Trackball is great. A lot of people can actually just rest it right on their leg or on a tray there and just use the trackball to give you full range of movement and control. But also the precision of trackballs is very effective. You see it used in a lot of design. You see it used in a lot of, say, architecture or, say, music producing. That's where you see a lot of deployment of trackballs out there, just because of the precision and the speed. But also the ergonomics, by keeping your wrist and your arm in a stable position. It leaves a lot of the stress that could come with constant motion or bending of that wrist. So sort of that whole adding all those together, and especially in a mobile format that allows you to take it wirelessly on the go, it's a really great item for this holiday season.
It's interesting because I don't necessarily say that trackballs have fallen out of favor, but it just seems to be a lot of people. You'll mention a trackball and you'll get a deer in the headlights look. What's a trackball? It's just like I say, it's like they don't seem to. I think more with millennials than anything are not familiar with the concept of a trackball, which has been around for a long time. I don't know what that is. I mean, have you experienced that, Corey?
We have. It's definitely with everything moving towards touch, and I think just because of the deployment of mice, through most people going through school and things like that. That's what they're used to.
Mhm.
Trackballs is definitely a specialized piece, but we always say give it 3 days. We really truly believe, and we've done this based off our research. If you use a trackball for 3 days, it's, I think it was something along the lines of 90% of people don't go back after that, just because of the speed, especially nowadays with people having multiple monitors. A simple flick of the ball allows you to go across all three. Another great thing is that we offer with our trackball lineup is something called Trackball Work software. It's a customizable software that we have as a free download, available to truly customize and get professional use out of your trackball. So you could do things such as assigning custom tasks to the buttons. So if you wanted to launch an application or open up a new compose email or control your music files, this is all customizable and allowable via that software download. So it really allows you to just get that much more productive and really, take that experience and make it your own.
Now, Ben is our consummate gamer here on the show, and I'm wondering, are gamers, do they use trackballs at all, or are they familiar with them? Because obviously, with one flick of the ball, you can go over the entire 3 different screens. I would think you get a lot of sensitivity with these things.
I would think that would completely depend on the genre of game that you would play it as. Maybe something like a first-person shooter or something like that. But as an MMO, I've seen people use them, and there are some people, they're like on the competitive scene, that they use these devices, like trackballs, like gaming gloves and things like that. They use what are seen as odd devices for computer games, but sometimes they're the best at their sport. So just because you use a trackball doesn't mean you're at a disadvantage. It's just something different, in which Corey, I would have to agree with you. It's, you try it, and I think that some people are just going to love it. So it's just try it.
Corey, have you had do you have experience, any feedback from people who use it for games?
We have. I think the great thing about it is because it's completely customizable, especially in gaming. There's a lot of custom features you can do to assign certain tasks.
Sure.
and having sort of a large ball trackball, maybe with the 4 different buttons and a customizable scroll ring. There's a lot of special functions you could add to that to kind of give yourself a one-up on the competition there.
Now, would they be more inclined to use not the mobile one then? That they more inclined to, because you have a standard like desk or tabletop trackball in your line of trackballs? What would you suggest that gamers would look at? Which one? Because you have so many of them that you got the slim blade. You got a whole bunch of these things here.
Our Expert is by far our sort of flagship trackball, the Expert mouse. So that one has been our tried and true #1 trackball from day one. Has a lot of great functionality in it. It's by far the most comfortable. So that one there, I would always suggest for just about any task.
Now, is that the one that looks like a silver one that has like a wings, little 2 wings in front of it? Is that what I'm looking at here? I'm
yes.
Yeah.
I'm
seeing for
yeah,
okay.
Gray and silver there.
Yeah, the Orbit optical trackball. And given what this thing does, and I know what gaming mice can cost, this thing only is $29.99. Holy mackerel! That's really a good deal. And of course, and it's also corded. It's not wireless, which gamers tend to favor. They don't like wireless devices. They like corded devices. They get just a better connection. They get a better response, I would think, with something like this. Would you?
Yeah, you cut down the latency and remove some of the lag by going to a direct connection.
Yeah, exactly.
That I think one too many gamers out there have broken equipment whenever their mouse has died, and they're right in the middle of something and their mouse dies at the wrong time, and you think and you throw it. Don't want that happening.
Yeah, or you can get one of those military grade cases for your trackball. So, when you throw it. Exactly. All right, so let's get so trackballs are something, and if you don't have any experience with it, you might want to check them out from Kensington. They do offer a wide variety, including the mobile one that we just mentioned. Certainly competitively priced to mice, and an alternative, something that you may not have considered before. So you might want to check out the line up from Kensington.
And I got to be honest with you guys, this thing looks so different. Might just attract some ladies. Have this thing setting up there, Starbucks, laptop, maybe work on your screenplay.
There you go. Another
bring them over.
That's right. Another motivation. All right. So please continue on with the we're talking about the annual holiday gift guide coming from Kensington. What else is going to be on there?
One of the other things that we're very proud of showing off is our Keyfolio Thin X3 for iPad Air and iPad Air 2. This is model numbers K97269 and K97389. The iPad Air version is MSRPing for about $59.99. The iPad Air 2 for $99.99. This is a really unique keyboard case for your iPad Air. So you see a lot of keyboard cases out there, folio style. One of the unique things, again, in sort of thinking about that sort of person on the go and making sure that they're always able to be productive, is we actually built our battery technology into the keyboard itself to allow you to give power out. So if you're, say, on the go and you have this keyboard case, you're typing away on your iPad, and you want to, say, charge your phone, you can actually just plug it right into the keyboard there, and it actually offers that battery power to charge your phone. Again, in addition to giving you a very superior typing experience, we offer that extra row of dedicated functionality, that function buttons along the top, wide space keys, direct Bluetooth pairing that allows, simple on and off. There's no toggle switch to have to worry about it. So
that's nice.
Some really unique features built into these cases. It really is all about convenience and making sure you stay productive without having to, worry or have the hassle of flipping switches or changing things in and out. Just try to make that as simple as possible.
And again, the fact that that it uses a Bluetooth for connectivity, that's that much less wiring, and just a very nice feature. And again, you do have, if you go to the Kensington website, you can see the wide variety of keyboard cases, and you can actually compare them. They offer you the ways of taking them and looking at side-by-side comparisons, so you can see the different features of that. But specifically, the one you're looking at is the Keyfolio Thin X2 for the iPad Air 2. Is that the one that you were talking about?
The X3, actually, yeah, the X3 is the one that has the built. Yeah, that's our flagship that has that built-in battery.
Okay, and the X3, and you have it for the iPad Air 2, exactly. And this is a $99.90. That's $100, and it has all these different features, which is really, really nice here. I'm looking at some of the, and again, Ben has it up on the screen so you can see if you're watching our live video, so you can see some of the ways that these connect. The holiday gift giving guide from Kensington this year is focusing on mobile devices. And
just as an aside, of course, people are hearing about it here, but where are people going to be able to kind of, are you publishing this guide anywhere? Or where can they find, a list of this guide?
We actually should be having this up on Kensington.com soon. Okay. And I believe also, we'll look at that through our social media as well, through Twitter and Facebook of posting that.
And of course, we're talking about it here right now in Computer America. Well, we're always cutting edge here. We're always bleeding edge. We're a little ahead of the curve, but we want to let you know that.
Are you bragging, Craig, that we beat Kensington to Kensington's guide gift giving?
Exactly. Okay. I mean, well, you're hearing it about it here, so you can see it, and again, you'll be able to see it on the website soon. So, all right. So we've talked about the Xfolio Thin X3 for the iPad Air 2, valued at $99.99. What else do you have on the holiday gift guide?
In keeping with that mobile tradition, you need something to store all these devices in. So our LM150 backpack is definitely something that we're proud of and that we're showing out there. This device is really meant for that sort of on the go. It has special pockets and special padded sections to keep your laptop and mobile devices secure. Whether it's pass through for your headphones. So if you wanted to, say have your headphones pass through a special port there and connect to a device inside, that's really great if you're, say, in an environment where it's, say, the bad weather's bad, it's raining, you don't want to have that device exposed. The special cushioning that we have, ergonomics is a really big deal to our company and really about what we present. So, designing this to have that right sort of feel, to hang properly, to have the right padding. It's really a really unique backpack that just has a ton of little special features built into it. to make that traveling experience a lot better.
Now this
And that's the LM150.
right?
The model number on that's K62622WW, and that retails for $59.99.
And it comes in basically a cool gray is what I'm looking at here right now. The image.
Yeah, it's a nice textured feel. It's a little bit different from a lot of the other standard black bags that we've done in the past. It has this really unique material, really great texture and feel to it, very premium, and has a lot of really cool pockets built in.
Yeah, it looks nice. It looks actually looks very luxurious. It's a nice looking backpack. It's not your typical, how should I say it nicely, El Cheapo backpack, but something that looks like it's a real quality made. It's designed. It has the over the shoulder kind of straps, so it's comfortable, and you can carry it around with you. And it has it looks like it even has things like earbuds pass through. In other words, you can actually it'll allow you to have your earbuds coming. The case can be completely zipped up and closed, yet you have this little port there, which so you can actually thread your earbuds right through the case, so you can get direct connection, which I think is a very slick little feature. It's got quick access pockets, very nice. You have hidden pockets in there too. So I mean, you have a lot of thought seems to have gone into this this backpack, designing something like this. And again, for $59.99, certainly affordable. Very, very nice. So, anything else that we haven't talked about yet on the holiday gift guide?
I think the last one that we have to talk about is sort of in line with charging earlier is our car charger. So we call it Powerbolt. It's a 3.4 amp dual charger, so it gives you two different ways of charging. One is it has a built-in lightning cable in addition to a USB port to then plug your own cable in of any other device out there that you have. So, a lot of people like the hardwire style of car chargers because you don't lose the cable or it doesn't pop out or unplug. Some people like the ease of use of having just a port to be able to plug in any device they want to it. This device offers both and allows you that full 1 amp charging for your cell phone, and then a 2.4 amp USB port to plug in a tablet or any other type of USB device that you want. That way you keep yourself powered on the go. So it sort of just rounds out that whole traveling on the go, making sure you're powered, making sure that you're always being able to be productive, and having those devices available.
So look, you're the channel marketing manager, so you get interesting feedback. And what kind of feedback are you getting, from your partners about, the trends they're seeing in the marketplace? Can you give us like a little bit over it? What's hot now, and what the next big hot trend is going to be?
Yeah, we're very proud of the relationship we have with our customer base out there. So in my role, we get to talk and see what's going out there. Surface is a very big deal right now, especially in the B2B space. Everyone loves Microsoft Surface, and that's being deployed in great numbers around the world. So, with us having that black belt product and also our bags and everything else, our charging, that kind of all lends into that, and making yourself productive. Microsoft Surface is a very, very hot buzzword out there that we're seeing. Just overall, it's really about Bluetooth and mobility that we're seeing. With everything, sort of going smaller and smaller, people losing less wires. Mobility is something that we're continuing to hear and focus on. It's something that we're looking for future projects on, and just how do you increase that productivity on the go? How to make sure that you always have access to all of your products, your data, your files, and making sure that you have something that's a high performance product that's secure. With us inventing security, that's one element that we're always, in laptops. It's something that we're always focused on and looking for, and how to make sure that you secure these very expensive, now getting smaller and smaller devices out there in the marketplace.
Corey, we got about a minute left. Can you, any kind of a sneak peek you can offer our listeners, but how Kensington will respond as something you might be launching soon, or anything in the works that you can tell our listeners about?
Well, I mean, as I mentioned, with mobile devices and what usually people out there are having sort of say 2 different operating systems, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe they'll carry an iPhone and they'll have a Windows laptop, or they'll carry an Android phone and have a Mac. PC or something along those lines. We pay very close attention to that. So, at CES show in January, we're going to be showing some devices and some products that kind of bring that convergence together, allow things to work a little bit more closely. I would say wireless charging is a very hot buzzword in the space out there right now, and that's something you're going to see some products coming from us over the next year. We'll be showing off a first few of those at the CES show. So there's some really cool technology that's coming down the road that allows Kensington to take its own sort of unique look and that security element and kind of add its own unique flavor to.
Well, as you heard, Ben's going to be out at CES, so maybe he'll bump into you, and you can show him some of these things.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on by.
Yeah, I'll definitely make it a point to stop by and take a look at the Kensington area.
Corey, listen, we want to thank you for being with us here and giving our listeners a little bit of an insight of what was coming up for your annual holiday gift giving guide. And again, just head over to kensington.com, or you can go to computeramerica.com. We have a link right there to the Kensington website as well, right there on our homepage. Corey, I want to thank you for being with us here on today's show. Very enlightening and
great. Thank you.
And I'm sure Ben will. When Ben says hi, I'm with Computer America, you'll give him the tour. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, Corey.
Have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. There he goes. Again, Corey Church from Kensington. And we're going to, and you can check out their gift giving guide. And I guess don't forget that we're going to be out at CES, as we every year, except this time Ben's going to be out there at Showstoppers and at CES.
Normally we have representatives of Computer America out at CES giving full coverage, but now Ben will be representative and represented. So
yes, along with our other line. I know you're going to be meeting other correspondents from Computer America. Will be
and I believe Sandy's going to be out there, so we'll see her. And I believe
Charles Sandell's going to be out there.
Charles Sandell and David Perry, I believe, too.
Yeah, and also our Pop Zera crew is going to be out there.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I don't think the managing editor is going to be out there. I think, but
no. He said he was completely done. He was one of those camps that was completely done with CES, but he is more than willing to send other people to go do it.
Exactly. All right, coming up in the next hour, hopefully we're going to have Mindfields Consulting going to be joining us momentarily, and if not, we'll do a computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. We have another brand new news bulletin review also coming up, exactly, from Marty Winston. And I see that Mindfields is with us. We'll be joining them in the next hour. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting live, it's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome to Hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
And I'm your co-host, Ben.
And we continue on with our now, if you missed the first hour of the show, we had Corey Church from Kensington on the program, and you can certainly listen to it again. We archive all of our programs at computeramerica.com. Just click the archive button, and you will be you'll see all the different places that archive the show, and you can check it out at computeramerica.com. So I thought it was very enlightening. I thought the Kensington.
We should definitely, and I believe I haven't looked too far into the schedule for the next 2 months, but we should, and we probably are going to have a lot of guests on talking about different gift ideas and different products that are going to be a wide range price-wise, but are going to appeal to a lot of people. So, tune into Computer America, and you'll hear all about these gifts before you actually go out and spend money, because you don't want to go out and buy the shiniest looking thing or the newest looking thing without actually hearing just what it does.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
We're gonna try to get as many of those this month as we possibly can.
Yeah, it should be very, very interesting. All right. Anything else before we bring on our second hour guest from Mindfields Consulting? Anything else?
No. I think we're good to go.
Okay. Well, let's bring them on. Mindfields is a vendor-agnostic sourcing and management advisory firm. They are a fusion of research and consulting. They advise clients on a range of sourcing solutions, helping companies reduce costs, get more value from their vendors, and run more efficient business processes. Their clients benefit from the cost-effective and value-added sources globally for IT, analytics, business processes, and cloud services. Joining us now is Mohit Sharma. He is the managing director of Mindfields Consulting. Mohit, how are you? Welcome into Computer America. How are you? And you're muted, so we cannot hear you. You need to unmute.
Hi.
There you go.
There you go. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thanks, Craig, for calling me for this interview.
Our pleasure, sir. So, why don't you start off by telling our listeners what does Mindfields do and what your offerings are?
Yeah, thank you very much. So Mindfields is a fusion of research and consulting firm. We advise our clients on the basis of our research we do on the contemporary topics like analytics, automation, knowledge process outsourcing. So we advise our client on the basis of the research we do. Clients.
Okay.
They can go to accounting firms like EY, KPMG. They can go to McKinsey, Bain, or they can go to IDC, Gartner for their research. So we provide, and we are a fusion of research and consulting firms. So we do our research on the contemporary topics and advise our clients on how to act on those research. So all of the four above mentioned organizations, they provide consulting on the topics which are already known to the market. So we are 2 steps ahead than these consulting firms, and we advise our clients on how to go about innovative ideas on the research we do.
Okay. Go on.
Yeah. So, for example, currently everybody's talking about automation, and there's very less news, very less data on how to automate, what to automate, where to go for the automation. So we have done a research. We have covered about 14 vendors like IBM, HP, WNS, Genpact, Wipro, and we have benchmarked them on the maturity of automation, what they can offer to the client in the automation space. We have covered about 42 case studies in our format, which takes out all the sales page, and our clients can read the report and make an informed decision or have an informed conversation with their vendors.
Okay. So now, are your clients, are they strictly large businesses, or can consumers, who are computer users, can they use your services? I mean, who are your clients? I mean, what kind of clients do you have?
So I have got top tier clients and also SME clients, because our pedigree is from PwC and Ernst & Young and Deloitte. So most of my clients, 60% of my clients are top tier, and 40% are about SME markets who don't want to invest in their time in doing study about the market and take a decision. So what I do for them is I do a research, give them the report, and they can act on that report. Or I can build in my consulting at lower rate for SME market, because they have got different problems, different pain areas, and I customize my report as per their requirements.
Let me. You're using some acronyms I'm not familiar. What is SMA? I mean, you're using
SMB, so small medium business.
Oh, small medium business. Okay, I thought I didn't catch that. Okay, so small to medium businesses, and you deal with them as well. What do you do since a lot of our listeners are small to medium business size? What kind of information can you provide to them, Mohit?
So, for example, the small business, it is not viable for them to outsource because they don't have too much scale.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to optimize their cost base. So what we are doing for them is that they can automate the process instead of outsourcing it or offshoring it. and we are helping them to streamline their process. When they have peak time, they can automate the process in more variable manner, and when they have lean time, they can tone down the automation at that time. So we are providing them a variable cost base. So
I,
we are working with.
I guess what I need for you to be is be more specific. You're talking about. Can you be very specific as to what kind of the small business, what kind of information you're providing? These analytics.
Are you doing like market analysis? Are you doing just what people are interested in buying? What kind of research are you providing for these guys?
Right.
So we are providing them the research how to optimize their back office. So they have got various options. Number one is a conventional option of outsourcing it onshore in US or Australia or UK. Second option is to offshore it to India, China, Philippines, or Malaysia, or South America. The fourth option is to automate the process. So there is no human intervention. For example, when you receive any order from the website, you can directly automate it and interface with different system. You don't require anybody to take the orders. For example, currently Uber doesn't have any contact center. So we are moving to that space where you don't require too much of human intervention, and this SME business can cut down their cost or optimize their operations. So we are advising them on how to cut down their cost in a more efficient manner.
Well, I guess if you can be more specific about your methodology. I know, for example, if I'm a small business, I can start my own website, and a lot of these services that have websites already have, let's say, they'll take the credit card, they'll have the shopping cart, they'll have all the mechanisms for me to make my sales, and then invoicing, and they do it all, fairly seamlessly, and they make it very easy to do that. So if I'm a small business and I have that, how do you come into play, I guess is what I'm asking.
Okay, so it depends upon what process that SME player is doing. For example, if you need to get some information about the product you're selling in the market, the automation can get all the data from the website, from all the websites, and put them in a database, and then you can analyze them, or the automation can also analyze that for you. That's a very simple example. For example, if you want to know what's the rate of the products you're selling currently in different geographies on different websites, so this particular automation tool can go to all the websites which you have identified, get all data for your product from those websites, and give it to you. So you can automate the whole process.
All right. Well, that is nice. That makes things a lot easier. You
seem like the right kind of person to ask this question. Is that more and more we contact these large businesses, and their customer support side of things. Things seem to be going more automated. There are a few companies that still cling to, and I think rightfully, to have people there on the other end that you can talk to, but a lot of companies are just having either complex phone trees or only online services. Is automation becoming a bigger interest for your clients?
Yes. See, Ben, the cost of automation is coming down, and the cost of labor is going up. So it's a rational decision at the client side to go for automation. And with automation, it is 24/7. It doesn't depend where you are located in Asia, in Europe, or US. And there's no labor loss. There's no emotion attached.
Mm-hmm.
So automation is the way to go going forward. And I'll always give example of Uber, Airbnb. So these guys are very less contact center based. Everything is on the apps or on the website. At the most, web chat or emails. So there is no human intervention anywhere. And web chat are also becoming AI based. So as per your queries, they will respond back to you automatically without any human intervention. And when you commercialize everything, it's become quite cheaper. So you don't have to have bodies to work for you now. You can automate the process.
Yeah,
Well-
and I think people, they of course have a very visceral reaction to, oh, this is going to, of course, destroy jobs and blah blah blah. But at the same time, I know a lot of people who they want customer service and they want it fast, easy, simple, and really 24/7. It's very hard when you are dealing with a product or a service, and you may be dealing with it 24/7, but you can only talk to them between the hours of 3 and 3:15 Greenwich Mean Time. It's people really appreciate having that 24/7 access to customer support, and I guess automation really does cover that. It's you don't have to have those people sitting there waiting for those phone calls. It's just whenever you want to talk to someone or interact with the company.
Yes, and also, for example, every business has becoming global now. Most of the business becoming global. So you can't ask the guys in Asia to work in US time to call the contact center in that time. So you need to automate, or you need to spend extra money to pay after hour shift in US to serve Asian market, which is not viable.
Okay.
So you need to automate it.
Now you have a report on RPA. First of all, what is RPA, and then what does the report cover? And who is it?
So RPA is robotics and process automation.
What is it? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. RPA stands for what?
It covers what is in robotics and process automation.
Robotics process automation, is that what that is?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's a new thing, 2-3 years old, and it's evolving very fast. I advise my clients on the outsourcing and offshoring also, and most of my clients have offshore to different locations in Asia and Europe. And with the cost of labor going up in those low-cost countries like India or Philippines or Malaysia, the business case for offshoring is not becoming much more viable or attractive. So I was asked by my clients to do investigation research in this particular subject, and I interviewed and surveyed about 14 vendors, IBM, HP, Cognizant, Genpact, Infosys, Wipro, and I understand what is the strategy of those organizations in automation space, because they're also under constant pressure to maintain their margin, and with the labor cost,
There can be, yeah. Do we lose? Okay. Well, okay. So obviously you have to choose which process to automate first, and how do you go about choosing that? Mohit?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi.
Hi, we hear you. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So it is impacting their margins, and they're themselves doing automation, but most of them were not passing the benefit to the client side. So the clients engage with me and ask me, okay, how can they maintain their business case for offshoring and outsourcing, and what can be done for the process which can't be outsourced, the sensitive process, the core process, which by the regulatory requirements can't be outsourced. So I interviewed all these organizations, understand their strategy for automation, what they are doing, where they think the optimal business model will be, the case studies of what they have done at different clients. Because in the short term, these vendors will cannibalize their own revenues, because they charge the clients on number of bodies employed for that particular client. And when they replace that body with automation process, they're going to lose the revenue. So some vendors were reluctant to go ahead with the client and promote automation. Some proactive vendors were saying, okay, we will do automation for you. Of course, we will lose the revenue in first short term, but we might be able to unearth more process than currently what we're doing with you. So I benchmark all the vendors interviewed in this process, in this study. And I also look at the various automation tools which these vendors are using or they have partnership with, and how is going to impact my client's business model, what risk they have, what can go wrong, what is the business case for them, what benefits they can do, how they have to do a change management around that, because when you replace a robot or automotive process instead of human process, you have got different challenges. You need to track them, you need to maintain audit trail, you need to have segregation of duties, you need to make sure that nobody play with or manipulate with the software so they can have some manipulative results or to avoid any frauds there. So there are a lot of issues which open up when you automate a process. So this report covers and address most of those concerns.
Okay, all right. And what have been the major benefits so far?
So like my reports cover the process which can be automated using RPA. So the clients are able to cut short or leapfrog the decision cycle to look at those processes to automate. For example, address change. It's a simple process, address change. You know, when your customer or a banking account holder moves from place A to place B, it's not a rocket science. So you have to just look at the ID of the new address and make the change. So currently one of my client has outsourced this process to its captive, and it's a very big bank, and they receive about 400 change requests every day, address change requests every day. And they had about 35 people just doing the address change.
Wow.
So it's quite a repetitive job. It's not a very sexy job, and people were leaving the job very fast because they were doing it for say a week or so, then say, okay, we are bored with this job. And Gen Y don't want to do any boring jobs. They want to have some excitement or some spice in their life.
I would think so. I would think so, but I wouldn't think that if you would ask me that many people moving that frequently is surprising to me, that you have that many people moving.
So moving in the sense like they don't want to do this job, so they move to other job. Within the organization, they say, okay, this is very boring job. Address change, I'm not getting anything. So everybody at that entry level want to learn more so they can progress in their life.
Okay.
So if in the starting point they're doing the address change job, they will be getting bored very easily. Their morale will be low, less productive. And as a human being, we always want to move up the value chain.
Okay. So you're saying that's a great place that can be automated.
Yeah. So from 35 people, it is only one people doing that job now, because.
And that one person's very, 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 very bored.
And no, so I agree with you on that he's alone there, but you know he's very excited to. He's only looking at the exceptions now. He's not looking at the whole doing the changes of the job, changing the address. He's just looking at the exceptions.
Okay.
So he's always very alert and excited to know what can go wrong with the computer also.
Okay. So that's a perfect example of how automation and can be very effective without replacing, and the people that it's replacing are moving on to different positions in the company. So
yes, so they are. So we are able to do more work with the same amount of people.
Okay, exactly.
That's a beauty of automation. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess when you move all these people, what else this in robotics that you're talking about here, or automation? Those are all positive things. What are any negative? Obviously, there are negative sides too. Can you talk a little bit about the negative sides?
The negative thing is that since we are replacing the human intervention, we lose the human touch. For example, take call center. If we automate the whole process by IVR, we are not able to get the human sentiment or the customer sentiment over the phone, whether he's angry or whether he's very loving our services or is happy. So we lose that emotional bit or human bit in a process. Secondly, we also lost the human knowledge of about the process. So tomorrow, if somebody want to do address change, everything is in our system. So there's no human capability to do address change. It's a small thing. It's not a very rocket science. But the organization has lost its process knowledge about address change. It is all automated. Number three is that it is also prone to a lot of manipulation. Because if a smart hacker goes there and change the address to his own address, he can manipulate a lot of data. Just giving a small example. So it is open to more manipulation of data. So it is very important when you automate a process, you should have proper controls around that process. You should have proper change management rules so that any human intervention which has been replaced, it is not compromised.
Right. So in automation, of course, is you mentioned a little bit earlier that the future of a lot of these services are are eventually going to be automated. It's it's something that we're seeing in the consumer side, and is obviously the business side is loving it. But the technology will get there in the next decade or two. And the business world is only going to get more and more automated. Have you yet come across someone who said, hey, we would really like to automate this process or the service, or something on their end, and you've come back and said, it's just something that's not there yet, and we really recommend that you offshore it, onshore it. Just have you ever advised against automation for certain services?
Yes, when it is quite complex, when it's quite material for the organization in terms of amount or brand equity, I think you need to have a human intervention there. You need to have a human touch. So we have assessment of the process. We have about 25 parameters on which we evaluate each process before it can be automated. So if in our checklist there is a human intervention required for sentimental reasons, we will not recommend them to automate. Or for some confidentiality reasons or some regulatory requirement, if we need to get some approvals, we'll not automate that. For example, taking the credit card CVV, in certain cases for amount above X dollars, or if you're traveling and you want to do any automation of that spend, we'll recommend that those components should not be automated.
Okay. So, is there any? I mean, let's look at the near and long-term future. How would you like to see the RPA evolve?
So, I think human race and human birth is quite pious, and we should always move up the value chain. We used to have typewriters. There's no typewriters anymore. There's no stenographers anymore.
Yeah.
So the human race has to evolve. There will be some, whenever we move to next level of a human race, there's always some resistance. For example, when we had typewriters replaced by computers, there were a lot of hue and cry that they will replace jobs. We lost jobs, but you can see we have created more jobs than we have lost the jobs.
Yes,
The only thing is that we have moved up the value chain. We have a new job definitions. There is no stenographers. There are programmers now. There are coders now. There is testers now. There are ERP implementers now, CRM implementers, website designers, you name it. So we have more jobs than we had jobs earlier. So I think having that mindset that we will lose the job is not the right thing. It's not the positive thing. We need to upgrade ourselves every 5 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And in last 10 years, we are evolving very fast in terms of technology. Say 15 years back, there was no mobile phone with camera or video.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have phones where you can go anywhere in the world and do conference with your business, with your family.
Mm-hmm.
You have Facebook now, you have Google now. And it has given you more opportunity. You have more e-commerce now happening. And now you have bigger markets. So I think automation will change the things how business is doing. For example, accounts payable, accounts receivable, contact center jobs, call center jobs, they will change. They will be only used for very special process, special component of the process, not for end-to-end process. And those labor or those employees or those human which will be released from that particular jobs will need to upgrade themselves so they can be put to a better use in a better value-added process.
Yep.
So I think it's a journey which they have to take. And there will be a lot of disruptive things happening on the way. For example, Uber, Airbnb, these all are changing the business models. So banking is no longer only taking money and giving money. It is going beyond that. And with constant cost pressures, we are trying to invent more innovative business models. So I think automation or the going forward, the machines will have much more bigger role to play with us. For example, if you're using Siri or Google now, Google Voice, they help you to take a decision. For example, if you're near any mall and you're looking for any, say, food, Mexican food, Indian food, they will guide you. So they are your companion, they are your advisor, but they can't replace the human race. So human race is always higher than or more evolved than the computers. So I don't think the market should think that the robots will take over our race. They can never take over our race. Don't get diluted by the Hollywood movies. It is computers have always make our life much more easier and better.
I would agree with you there. Well, if people want more information about what you have to offer, Mindfields, they can go to your website, which is mindfields.net.au, because you're based out of Australia, correct?
Yes.
Or they can go to our website at computeramerica.com. Right there on the homepage, we have a link to your website as well, so people can get more information. Yeah, Mohit, I want to thank you for being with us here in this hour.
Thank you for waking up so early to join us.
Yes, thank you very
Thank you
much.
much.
Really appreciate it, and best of luck to you. And again, thanks for being with us here on the show. All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right, and there he goes. Again, if you want more information about this, you can check it out for yourself at computeramerica.com. We have computer and technology news coming up, brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. We've got some really interesting stories. We've got another brand new news tips pull to review, Marty Winston, coming up as well. We're going to be right back. You're listening to the Computer America Show. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. Hi, this is Craig Crossman, host of the Computer America Show. You have important meetings to schedule. Your company's getting ready for its IPO, and you're in charge of the PTA fundraiser this month. So how do you coordinate everyone to be available at the same time? Are you still using emails, phone calls, even text messages to schedule meetings with a group of people? How's that working out for you? That's so great, huh? It's a fact that every day, millions of people suffer from scheduling headaches. Well, with Doodle, scheduling meetings with a group of people is quick and easy. With Doodle, you can easily propose available times to each member. Each one checks off the times that they're available, and then you simply pick the time that works best for the group, all in an easy-to-read display that integrates with your existing calendar. Nothing could be more simple. Give Doodle a try for free, and like millions of Doodle users, you'll truly see how easy it is to find the perfect date and time for all your meetings. That's www.doodle.com. Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. The mission of Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is to help build a sustainable, no-kill community where no dogs or cats are ever killed for population control, where true euthanasia is reserved only for animals who are irremediably suffering or for animals who are truly a threat to society and with no hope of rehabilitation. Brother Wolf staff and volunteers go door to door, neighborhood by neighborhood, to educate citizens about local resources available for at-risk pets and to help their families connect with those resources. Brother Wolf's community-based approach to no-kill helps keep family pets healthy, happy, and in their homes and out of the local shelter system in the first place. For more information or to make a tax-deductible donation to this wonderful 501c3 organization, visit their website at www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Kidding me? These days I bet Shemp could run for office. Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time the Coast LK375 Light Knife. When something needs to be cut, doing that in the dark is never a good choice, and it seems like two hands are seldom enough to get the job done right. Coast sent their LK375 Light Knife, a wide blade knife on a handle that's been oversized to fit a 110 lumen flashlight. They say can run up to 4 hours on a AAA cell. A big thumb hole in the top of the blade lets you open it with either hand. The flashlight button is press for momentary, press again for low mode, press and click for full on in either mode. The curved bottom blade has an aggressive serrate in its back inch. Bottom line, a Coast LK375 Light Knife is a great answer when you also have to cut through the dark. Marty Winston, News Tips Bulletin for Computer America.
Welcome back to the Computer America Show. It is 33 minutes past the hour. In the second hour, we just finished talking to Mindfields.
Mindfields, yes.
Mindfields. I was about to say MindSpark, but that's that advertising thing with the brain game. But no, Mindfields, yes. And it was admittedly a little vertical, but essentially they are the guys that that big and medium and small companies call to see if they want to send jobs overseas, if they want to keep jobs here, if they want to automate them completely. He does the research, he does the work, he does everything that these companies need to know before they make a call. Yep. And it's and it was quite interesting to hear from the other side, because we hear about all these companies doing this, that, or the other with these jobs, because at the end of the day, these companies are just companies. They are designed to make money, and it's and we just hear about about what happens. We don't hear about any of the research, or we never even think about the people who the contractors that they hire to do the research to see if it's worth even doing or making those calls. And obviously he puts a lot of work into it, does a lot of research and a lot of different reports on his own time, just to make sure that they are doing indeed the right thing for their investors. So it was interesting to hear it from the other perspective, because again, in the news we usually hear about it only from so-and-so company did so-and-so with so many jobs.
Right, exactly. It's a different perspective on it, and it was an interesting segment of the program. But we now find ourselves in the last half hour of the show, and I think we should do some computer news. All right, let's do it. Let's do some computer news. Today's computer and technology news is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows. Slimwareutilities.com. Check them out. I use them. We use them. Slimwareutilities.com. You'll be happy that you did.
Right. So, computer and technology news, and we're going to start out a little bit heavy. We'll lighten the mood up a little bit later. But this first story is, of course, having to do with the with the tragedy that happened in Paris. And if you want news on that, you can go to pretty much anywhere else, including probably Facebook, because people have been going crazy on Facebook with all the different news that's been going out there. But we are a tech show, so our bent on this is going to be the tech side of it, and that's politicians over in Europe are in the UK suggest fast tracking a new surveillance law, or at least a new series of surveillance laws that they kind of say will curb and possibly reduce the risk that things like this are going to happen. And obviously large sweeping surveillance is, as we've seen here in America, I know it's not 1-to-1, but at the same time, I think a lot of us look back on what happened with the Patriot Act and the amount of surveillance and unchecked power that has given a lot of these agencies that we've reported on, including the NSA and Project Prism and things like that. That's at the initial get-go, we are panicked and we're scared and we really want to make sure something like this is never going to happen again. So then, behind mass public support, these knee-jerk reactions happen. But then we find out five years down the road, 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, that what was knee-jerk, it's once you give someone power to serve, of surveillance and very, very sweeping power, it's very hard to get that power back. It's very hard to make them relinquish that power. And we're fighting that fight now with massive surveillance here in the US, where where certain government agencies are tracking everything from phone call collection data, where they're tracking everyone's search history, where they're tracking everyone's searching habits, where they're building up profiles on everyone, things that a lot of people would say in a free society is very 1984ish. And so, here in America, that was obviously passed after 9/11, and we just want to kind of bring to attention that they're going to try to do the same thing. This is an article from The Verge, James Vincent, and that Paris is seeking to do the exact same thing, saying that starting here, that London Mayor Boris Johnson said that he had less and less sympathy for those opposing the investigation. This being, of course, Edward Snowden, that had brought all of this mass surveillance to our attention, saying that here in Paris, the story of the Paris massacre is explained. I would like a better understanding of how so many operatives were able to conspire and attack multiple occasions without some of their electronic chatter reaching the ears of the police. And of course, he's talking about, with this increased surveillance, he is assuming that he would be able to pick up on that chatter, that he would be able to pick up some of those information sources that would lead to, these people. Well, here we have the critics of the government's approach have pointed out that France already has digital surveillance legislation in place that is more stringent than the UK's. Of course, France and Paris is where this attack happened. And following the Charlie Hebdo shooting in January of this year, it's crazy that all these tragedies are happening so close together nowadays. But the French government passed laws allowing spy agencies to monitor the phone calls and emails of suspected terrorists without judicial authorization, and forced ISPs to install so-called black boxes in their infrastructure to allow the capture of internet data. So again, that was in Paris and France, where it sounds like they want to install similar kinds of things over in the UK. And here's where I'm going with all this. It's very knee-jerk to say, increased surveillance is going to stop things like this, because we've seen it before. And it's just going to keep happening, that you can put as much surveillance as you want, but you're not going to be able to catch everything. Something's going to slip through the cracks, and it's, no matter how much information you're able to mine, at some point you are just, capturing too much information from everything, and you're going to miss the little things that lead up to something as big as what happened in Paris. It doesn't matter if you track every single person, if you violate every single person's right to privacy. It doesn't matter if you record every single phone call conversation. You're not going to be able to catch these things if they don't want to be caught. They can use pen and paper and put it in an envelope and communicate that way. And all this violation of privacy that you're doing makes no difference in preventing things like this. So,
let me ask you,
if you're over in the UK, be very wary about passing very sweeping surveillance changes so quickly after something like this happens.
Well, let me ask you, that this story says, there's quotes like here, France already had these powers and the Paris atrocity still happened. I guess my question to you is, In retrospect, now that they know that happened, were they able to go back, and was there any electronic chatter that would have tipped them off, or were they just using pencil and paper?
Over the weekend I had the news going on the TV, and I had heard that after the fact they were able to learn the identity of like one or two or three of the different people in this, the perpetrators. And after the fact they said, oh, this guy was on this list, this guy had been interviewed by the police, this guy had done this. Like, a couple of these people, or at least the few that they, after I stopped watching, the few that they had actually identified had already been on some list. They already had been called into police stations and interviewed. They have been on lists. So what they had was sufficient, but it's just one of those things where, you have so much information, and, these people are tracking thousands upon thousands of people. It's, something's going to slip through. And in this time, if they all met in a closed room without any kind of technology in the room, they had as much privacy as anyone in the world. They had these people on lists. They were tracking them. It didn't prevent anything. It didn't stop anything.
Yeah, and although it was so wide sweeping, they were all coordinated attacks. Nothing in the surveillance in the previous surveillance would have tipped authorities off that this was about to happen.
Yeah, pretty much. It's you can violate every single person's right to privacy, and this is still going to happen if they want it to happen. There's nothing you can really stop someone from doing these things from a technology point of view.
Yeah, it's just very, very sad. It really is.
I mean, really, it's one thing to, and I keep saying it, violate the privacy of your citizens, but I think at the end of the day, the solution to all this is less less technological and more, and more human. Just talk to your neighbors, talk to people, keep an eye out, make friends with the people around you, and talk to people. You're gonna get a better sense of your community and those around you and the people around you if more people just connected. It's not something that technology can really do, because you're going to know before before the police have a chance to do anything if something is up. If your neighbor is not acting of the norm, and and everyone agrees, hey, that's going to be much, much more valuable than monitoring the entire state of France.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
the solutions to these kinds of atrocities are more human and less technological, is what I want to say, and be wary of very knee-jerk reactions to increased surveillance.
Well, moving on a lighter note, it's been a while since I've been in a Brookstone store, but they're certainly out there. Actually, I went up and visited the Brookstone headquarters a while back, and very efficient company. And evidently, they, according to Engadget, Brookstone is going to get involved with Indiegogo. Brookstone and Indiegogo. Just think about that for a moment. What was it? Well, Brookstone wants to deliver crowdfunded products that are suggested on Indiegogo faster to the consuming public, and they're evidently geared up to do it. Because look, one of the biggest issues facing crowdfunded products is the amount of time between backing a project and when you actually receive the goods. So Indiegogo is looking to do something about that with the help of the tech-minded retail store Brookstone. So aspiring startups and makers can submit ideas to a specific page on Indiegogo's site, where the retailer will offer design, manufacturing, packaging, distribution, sales, and customer support to select projects. This is actually a great idea, because Brookstone is really geared up for this, because so much of the stuff that Brookstone delivers is I mean, I've been up there. It's inspired by their, they come up with their own ideas, they produce it. They have all of this in place, so they could do this a lot more quickly. But as you might suspect, Brookstone just won't back any old idea. as Brookstone is looking for items that fits its reputation for technology, wellness, home, and travel wares. So it has to kind of fall into what they're doing. But if you do have something like that, Brookstone might be very interested. There will also be a funded with Indiegogo section of Brookstone's retail stores that'll include products like the Physics beer dispenser and Accents cat ear headphones. Okay. Now, the partnership seems to be like a win-win for both companies, as Indiegogo's inventors have the opportunity to tap into an established product chain, and Brookstone can use the crowdfunded projects to stock its shelves with new items. So, not just rely on its own employees and technicians. So I think this is a very innovative and good idea, on the surface. That's again, it's reported by Billy Steele over at Engadget. So we might be seeing more and more Indiegogo projects appearing in Brookstone stores.
See, but it's funny because I think a lot of people can walk around, like if you've been in a Brookstone one or two times, I think you can walk around and you can go on things like Indiegogo and you can kind of say to yourself, that's something that Brookstone would carry. Like they have a very very unique blend of products that they carry.
Yep.
That sometimes you're like, yeah, I can see that at Brookstones. Like Indiegogo would be a great partnership with them because it's very clear what they want, and if you could back that with what people want,
yeah,
sounds great.
And they have, as I said, they have everything in place. So they certainly have the manufacturers. They have everything. They could do it. So if they partner up with somebody, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Right. So, well, with that said, we only have about another 10 minutes to do stories, and so we have enough time for about one or two. How about we do this one? This one's really cool. And when I say really cool, I mean really, really cool. This is from also from Engadget, Steve Dent, and graphene, that thing that has never left the laboratory but has so much promise.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm sorry, that's graphite.
Yeah.
I think.
No, this is graphene. Yeah, graphene. That was the.
Graphene, single layer of carbon atoms.
Yep.
But yeah, so graphene could bring night vision to phones and cars.
Wow.
Yeah, so this one's very, very cool. It's the thermal imaging devices like night vision goggles can help police, search, and rescue teams and soldiers pick out bad guys or victims through walls or in complete darkness. However, the best devices require cryogenic cooling, making them heavy, expensive, and slow. Enter graphene, the semiconducting material that's 100 times stronger than steel per volume, by the way. It's not really that tough. But anyways, researchers from MIT have built a chip out of the material that may solve the problem. The resulting infrared sensor were small enough that they could be integrated in every cell phone and every laptop, according to the study co-author, Mr. Thomas Palacios.
Mm-hmm.
And graphene is already one of the best infrared sensing materials. So the team first built a microscopic sensor chip out of the material. Further, graphene was then used to carry the signal from the suspended chip over an air pocket, as shown below. And if you're watching the video portion of the show, a couple diagrams, you should also go check out the article. But all in all, the compact sensor was able to detect a human hand and heated up MIT logo, a promising first result. The goal is to further improve the resolution so the tech can be used in everyday devices. For example, Pelagius told Live Science that the sensor could one day be integrated into car windshields, giving you night vision system in real time without blocking a driver's regular view of the road.
Look at that. They actually have a picture of what they look like. That's amazing.
Yeah, and so that said, we're of course also waiting for a handful of other promising graphene research. And graphene, by the way, it's kind of disappointing to hear that this is all research being done with graphene, because I'd say about every other month there's a new wonder purpose for graphene, and it's faster processors, it's more efficient computer graphics cards, it's better body armor, it's better snow cones. It's just a slew of things that graphene can really revolutionize the way the world works. but it's all in the laboratory still, and it's so depressing.
Yeah, really. But it holds a lot of promise.
Yeah, but that's all it holds.
Yeah. Well,
Graphene is 100 times stronger than steel because it holds so much hope that I'm surprised it has not snapped under the weight of so many people hoping that it finally makes it to market. It's so strong.
Hey, we got time maybe for one more story, and I want to go to Maximum PC's Paul Lilly. Company called GoGo is giving in-flight Wi-Fi a major speed upgrade. So I don't know if you know this. It's been a while since I've been on a plane, but for the most part, Wi-Fi speeds in airplanes are nothing to brag about. That's because there's limited bandwidth to share amongst dozens of travelers with an assortment of connected devices. But there's good news coming. GoGo is launching a new Wi-Fi technology that should put an end to slow connections. The technology is called 2KU, and according to GoGo, it's capable of matching or surpassing the bandwidth of any other system that's currently offered. As part of its in-flight testing, GoGo said it was able to stream videos on more than 40 devices at the same time, while still providing enough bandwidth for more devices to surf the web. That's pretty good.
And again, that's pretty good, essentially, because essentially these services are satellite. You know, they're satellite internet, and that's pretty good. 40, but you got to consider that most flights nowadays carry what, 200 people, maybe even 300 people,
or you have a smaller plane.
like yeah, you know, don't get me wrong. If you have a small plane of about 40 people, this sounds amazing. This sounds perfect. But on a plane, you know, that has, you know, 150, 200, 250 people, 40 people start streaming Netflix, and everyone else is punished for the fact. Like, it's fast, but not, oh my God, when is this getting to my plane fast?
Well, in about a year and a half, we've been able to fully develop and bring this new technology, I'm quoting GoGo, to market, a speed which is unprecedented in this industry. The accomplishment is really highlights GoGo's leadership in this space and tremendously talented employees, blah, blah, blah. GoGo's 2KU satellite internet technology provides airplanes with 70 megabits per second connections. That has to be shared with all passengers wielding internet-connected device, but trials have so far been promising. As you say, though, you know, after 40 people and then you got 200 people all trying to stream, that's still not going to be a good thing. Now, again, there's a quote saying, "I am 100% sure that everyone will be able to browse on a plane." Okay, but this is again a quote from the company. GoGo's been testing 2KU connectivity on 8 airlines representing more than 550 aircraft. It expects to launch faster Wi-Fi service in the coming months. So,
yeah, you know, GoGo's 2KU satellite internet technology provides airplanes with 70 megabits per second connection. So,
yeah, but that's total. So,
yeah,
if you got,
you know, not amazing. It sounds like, you know, people would prefer they finally laid down the infrastructure to connect our planes to the fiber optic network. And yes, that will cause a lot of structural damage as these cords are dragged across airplanes. And there may be a few crashes as these planes get tangled up in each other. But I believe with some smart engineering, we can overcome this. But no, it's a start. It's a start.
It's a start. You have to start somewhere. I mean, and
hey, look, if Elon Musk can dream of a world where we have internet all across the globe, no matter where we are, I think we can dream of a world where we can watch Netflix on a plane.
I think that's a reasonable expectation.
Right. So yeah, that's that one. And I think we have time for one more quick story.
Okay.
And I had a story here that I really, really wanted to do, and it's and I completely forgot it. All right. This one, Airbnb.
Yeah.
So Airbnb, and it's what happens when people book homes through Airbnb. One of the biggest problems is, of course, theft. that people, they stay the night, they do their thing, and then the next day they leave, and the vase is stashed between their shirts and their underwear, and they steal something when they leave. It really is a big problem. But here's something different. A gentleman, actually a lady, claims that a guest stayed in her home, and then a little while later she found out that the designer of her home, she is an interior designer, and she later found out that someone had replicated her home in a different house against her wishes, because hey, this is what her wear for a living is her design style. And they came in, saw, took pictures, and replicated it somewhere else without giving her credit or notice, and essentially stole her house design. That's creepy.
It is.
So yeah, so she says she's upset because the company never asked her permission to replicate what is essentially a body of her work, and of course did not give her credit for the interior. So, and this is apparently through Airbnb. It actually turns out that Airbnb itself, the head office, had stolen her interior design. So not just anyone from Airbnb, but Airbnb itself.
They're showing a picture of her home that has the wallpaper, and then an Airbnb itself, the head office, has the same wallpaper.
Yep. Same wallpaper with colors and themes going throughout it. But yeah, it's something something that's silly, but at the same time,
no, it's not silly. Yeah,
this is her work, and someone stole it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hopefully
Airbnb does something right by her.
Yeah.
They'll offer to cover 2 days stay vacation somewhere.
All right, coming up tomorrow in the first hour, Atari is going to be here. Yes, Atari is going to be here on our gamer show. They're going to be here. Roller Coaster Tycoon World is going to be joining us. I don't know if you play that game, but
who hasn't played Roller Coaster Tycoon? It's a huge title. It's along the same lines as The Sims.
Well, Matt Labunka is going to be here. He's the executive producer of Roller Coaster Tycoon World. It's going to be here in the first hour. And then the second hour, we'll have more computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. Again, thanks to Kensington for being with us here. And also thanks to our second hour guest from Mindfields Consulting. Thank you for being with us. And thanks to all of you for being here. Ben and I will see you here tomorrow afternoon, same time, same place. So until tomorrow afternoon, this is Craig Crossman, hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
Have a good one, everyone.
Take care. Bye-bye.
10 seconds.
Hasta la vista.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, everybody, thanks for watching our live video stream, and Ben and I will see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. time. Yep.
Give me your honest opinion.
Yes.
What do you think of the video background?
I like it a lot. I do.
Okay.
I like it. The little blue sparkly thing. I think I like the one without the little blue sparkly thing. I think it's a little distracting. But the other scene where you just had the stars looks very nice.
Those aren't stars. That's snow.
Oh, that's snow. Okay, then the snow.
It's winter.
It's winter. I'd say the winter without the little blue sparkly thing would be mine.
Wasn't asking for that. I was asking for something else. But okay. Have a good one, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye.